In today's Grow a Garden video, we'll be attempting to get every single mutation on the new AETHERFRUIT, which I also have a rainbow variant, which looks very cool, as you can see here. And with this, we did get the new Phoenix pet, and we did get the new Luminous Sprite pet. Whenever this fairy event ends, we will be able to still get the Luminous mutation along with the Glimmering mutation, and we can also get the new Flaming mutation with the Phoenixes. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one a little bit differently today. I'm going to go ahead and plant my rainbow AETHERFRUIT right here, and I guess I will go ahead and just get those mooncats started. All right, there we go. We have 8 mooncats spawned in, and I know usually I spawn in the Triceratops, but we are again going to do this a little bit differently. So before I get the Triceratops in here, actually I will pick up one of these because I will probably need them in just a second. I am going to actually spawn in my sugar apples again. We're going to go ahead and plant down 6 of these, and I'm going to go ahead and also spawn in my apple gazelle, and we're actually going to get one of the mutations done before the plant is actually grown here, and that is the warp mutation, of course. So we'll go ahead and get that done real quick. I know you're probably wondering, nothing is grown in, so how am I going to do this? I'm actually going to go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all here so we can get everything done, and then we'll focus on getting a big AETHERFRUIT in just a second. All right, so surprisingly, we actually did get some pretty big AETHERFRUITs, but these are not going to be the ones we use, so we're going to wait on that. But because we have our apple gazelle, we are going to go ahead and pick up the sugar apples until we get that warp mutation done. There we go. We have a warped sugar apple somewhere in the mix in here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that warped sugar apple there. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these other sugar apples so they're just out of the way. So now we will focus on getting a big AETHERFRUIT. So I'm going to go ahead and use my sprinklers here. So we'll put down a Grandmaster sprinkler right there. We're going to put down a Master sprinkler. Looks like I need to go get another godly, but we'll do an advanced. We'll do a basic, and let me go grab a godly real quick. Actually, I have some godlies on my main account, so I'm just gonna throw one in the mix right here. All right, there we go. I accidentally put 2 godlies down, but that works. And also, we did just get the chakra mutation applied from my main account's Kitsune, which that will actually save us some time. I forgot that was actually spawned in over there, but yeah, we just got the chakra mutation. There we go. So now we have our setup here. We can go ahead and pick up this apple gazelle, and we go ahead and spawn in a Triceratops now. And now the mooncats and the sprinklers will work to get us a pretty big AETHERFRUIT. Now this one actually looks pretty big, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one because I think we can get bigger than that. And we're gonna work with the mooncats sprinklers to get a big AETHERFRUIT, and then our Triceratops will speed up the growth a little bit so we can see what size we get, and then we can actually go ahead and start getting the mutations applied. All right, so we're just gonna wait around for a second here, and once the Triceratops hits this, we'll see how big of an AETHERFRUIT we get. If it's big enough, we can go ahead and finish it off by using the grow all again. And I guess we can also, I believe I still have some toys here I can use. Yes, I do. So I guess I can go ahead and just boost our Triceratops to hopefully get a double hit, so that way we don't have to use the grow all. I don't know how big of one we're gonna get and how long it'll take to grow, so we'll see. But I'm gonna give this these 2 minutes here, and let's see what kind of AETHERFRUIT we get. All right, so we have a pretty good group of mooncats that actually just started sleeping right here, so I'm gonna hopefully get a good boost of a size for our next AETHERFRUIT. Oh, he's hitting the sugar apple. Okay, now he's coming over here. Oh my, ow, ow, it just spawned on top of me. Okay, well, this one grew in instantly, but this one is still going. So I think this one may be bigger, unless it only targeted that one fruit. I thought it just targets the whole plant, but all right, hold on. I'll do a comparison in a second. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna hit the grow all button real quick again. It's really hard to tell because it's very bright in here and stuff, but I believe this one is bigger than this one. The little sprout at the top here is bigger. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this one then, and it looks like we have our AETHERFRUIT. We do have the Glimmering mutation on it already, which will count as one of the 5 mutations we need for rainbow, which is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a couple sprays here then, since we do have that. The silver doesn't count, but everything else will count here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pollinated on it. We're gonna put chocolate on it. Hello, hello. Oh, I'm spraying the tree, dude. I've been on vacation, dude. My brain isn't working. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down on it, and that should give us 4 mutations. So I'm gonna use my main account for that last one. All right, I went ahead and put cloud touched on it. So now we have our 5 mutations, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee now with a butterfly. Queen bee will cool down the butterfly. Butterfly will convert these 5 mutations into rainbow, and then we can go ahead and get started on getting all of the mutations that we need. Now, the only problem is with this current fairy event, the glimmering plants are like insane, dude. Like, you get so many of them, and then when we use the Spinosauruses, they just want to move over glimmering a bunch of times. So we're probably gonna have to try and collect all the glimmering plants at some point and just get them out of the way. There's just so many of them. Yeah, anyways, we should be good now. I'm gonna go ahead and wait this out. Let's get rainbow, and then we'll come back and get this thing mutated with lots of nice, beautiful mutations. All right, so we are back, and our queen bee is now going to go ahead and cool down our butterfly and turn this AETHERFRUIT into an actual rainbow AETHERFRUIT. So there we go. Butterfly is cooled down and all of these mutations go away, but we get the rainbow mutation. There we go. Perfect. So now we have that rainbow mutation for that 50 times multiplier. We can go ahead and favorite our AETHERFRUIT here and go ahead and start applying some sprays. We'll go ahead and put chocolate on it. We'll go ahead and put the glimmering on it. Actually, I'll save this glimmering because we're going to get glimmering either way. We literally have a bunch of glimmering over here. So I'll save that. We'll put pollinated on it and we'll go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down to get honey glazed on it. And then over here on my main account, we have quite a few sprays we can go ahead and use over here. So on this guy, I'm going to go ahead and put the cloud touch spray on it. We're going to put the shock spray on it, and we're gonna go ahead and put luminous on it. So there we go. We now are up to 7 mutations on here. A lot of my sprays, I guess, have run out. I usually do have the verdant spray, but we're gonna be using our scarlets for a while anyway, so we definitely will get verdant done at some point. And then we don't do fried and burnt anymore because we usually get ceramic. But if we had those 3, then we'd be up to 10 mutations, and we do have chakra over here, so we would have 11. But we're gonna get all that moved over in just a minute. But this is a little bit less than what we normally have initially, but we'll work on it, so don't worry. Okay, I got this. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting some of our guaranteed pet mutations done and out of the way. So we're gonna get the pterodactyl done so we can get that tempestuous out of the way, corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra out of the way, and then we're gonna go and get the peach wasp for plasma, lemon lion for brain rot. We're gonna get a golden goose in here so we can get the fortune egg, and we're gonna get a raiju so we can get shocked, turn that into static, and apply it to our AETHERFRUIT. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some carrots spawned in here. So our Raiju, Pterodactyl, and Corrupt Kitsune have a better chance to get those mutations applied, and then we can get some Spinos later to move all these over. So we're going to go ahead and put 9 carrots down here, and since I ran out of shock sprays on this account, I'm going to go ahead and use my main account since it has some to apply shock to one of these carrots. But we have a shock carrot that my Raiju will eat and apply static to my other plants. And then we'll get our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous on one of these, corrupt kitsune to give us corrupt chakra, and that will be good. So those guys are out of the way. Now we're going to get the jackalopes done to give us the sandy mutation a little bit faster, since these guys will give us sandy in about a minute or a couple minutes here. Once sandy's out of the way, we'll swap them out and continue with some other pets that we have, which I think next we'll actually do the new phoenix pet, since we do have 2 of them, and we can get that flaming mutation. Although I think flaming might be guaranteed, or it's like a 20% chance, but I'll see once our jackalopes are done. Let's go ahead and wait and see if we get the sandy mutation done and out of the way. Hopefully we do, because we will need that to get ceramic in a little bit. Okay, this is actually good. Now, that's not good that the jackalopes failed. That actually makes me really sad. But we do have some acid rain, so we have a chance to get the acidic mutation applied to one of our fruits. If we get it at least on one fruit, we can easily have our Spinos move it over to our AETHERFRUIT, and that'll be some extra multipliers for us, which will be very nice. Very, very nice. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these jackalopes still, so I'll be back. Okay, so we just got the sandy mutation applied to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done, which is perfect. I'm actually gonna go ahead and try and spawn some more carrots in those so we can get that acidic mutation a little bit more easily, because it's struggling. Okay, so we got to get acidic on something, so I'm going to spawn some more carrots in so we have an easier chance to get this. I'll probably get rid of these carrots in a little bit, but just a couple more so we can try and get acidic out of the way. All right, but our jackalopes are done. We have sandy on this carrot here, so that is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter for our Spinos. We can go ahead and pick up these jackalopes here, and with that I'm going to replace them with the new phoenix pets. Now these phoenixes, it says every 6 minutes travels between 4 random fruits in your garden, which gets the flaming mutations. Fruits passed have 20% chance to mutate as well. Okay, so I think this is guaranteed, but anyways, okay, so our lemon lion just applied the brain rot mutation to this carrot, which is good. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter as well. All right, so lemon lion is done and out of the way. So yeah, this one does look guaranteed because it says travels between 4 random fruits, and those get the flaming mutation, but I guess fruits that are passed also can get mutated. So we might get a lot of flaming mutations, but we'll see how this works. It's our first time trying it, you know, so we got to test the waters a little bit. But anyways, our lemon lion is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up so we can get him out of the way. Our pterodactyl will be trying to give us tempestuous in just a second here, and then our golden goose will be laying an egg for us. Our raiju will be giving us static, so we have quite a few mutations that are about to get done and out of the way. But since the lemon lion's done, let's see who we can replace him with. Oh, you know what, I guess we can go ahead and spawn in a mandrake, or actually I'll do that in a second because we got to get a couple of mandrakes so we can try to get the rot mutation done. Also, we did not get acidic on anything, which is insane, but hey man, we'll get that later, maybe. Now there is a new ascended chakra mutation, but we will have to get foxfire chakra, foxfire corrupt chakra, and then regular corrupt chakra and regular chakra, which Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. We did just get tempestuous though on carrots, and we did just get the static mutation as well, so that is good. But yeah, so we have a chance to get that new ascended chakra, but we do need to get like all 4 versions of chakra, which might take a long time. So I guess we'll see and maybe try and get it. But I wonder if they'll make that a pet mutation one eventually, like the Dawnbound mutation, since you have to do a lot of work for that Ascended Chakra. But it is a really good multiplier if we do get it. But anyways, our Raiju's done. We do have the static mutation applied, and Pterodactyl's done. We do have Tempestuous. Let's go ahead and move some of these to the platter over here for our Spinos again. So I'm going to go ahead and travel a static carrot over here. There we go. Here's Tempestuous. I'll move Tempestuous over here. I'm going to go ahead and leave these here, though, for our Corrupt Kitsune to try and apply Corrupt Chakra to one of those. And next up is our Golden Goose. He's going to lay his egg, and then our Phoenix should give us the Flaming Mutation as well. I got to get this this Cockatrice spawned in, because he's another guaranteed mutation we can get now, and he can actually give us the Toxic mutation. And we didn't get Acidic, but we can definitely get Toxic done, because this is guaranteed. So we're going to get him done out of the way. I almost forgot about him. Okay, yeah, so they do guarantee a flaming mutation on something. So Phoenix is done. We actually don't really need 2 of them at a time, but that's fine. Our Golden Goose is now going to lay an egg. Let's see, is he gonna poop? Okay, I was seeing if he would poop it out on me. Anyways, we got a Fortune Egg, so we're gonna go ahead and add this Fortune Egg over here to the platter. We're gonna go ahead and move one of these flaming carrots to the platter as well, and that is looking pretty good. So we can go ahead and pick up Golden Goose. And is there anything else like his guaranteed mutations? It's been like a week, dude. I haven't recorded in a week. I was on vacation, as you guys may have seen from the other videos. So I am trying to think of what I need, because it's been a little bit. Okay, I think what I'll go ahead and do next actually is get the rot mutation done out of the way. So I'm gonna spawn into these mandrakes, but the mandrakes are spawned in. We're gonna go ahead and get an advanced sprinkler set up right here, and then we're gonna spawn in some mandrake seeds, and we're going to attempt to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a sugar apple over here. So rot is done. All right, cool. So that is done. We can go ahead and get rid of those mandrakes now, and I guess we'll start getting our chicken zombies to try and give us zombified, and our disco bees to try and give us disco. So let's go ahead and spawn some of those guys in. I guess I can do 3 disco bees, and I think I can do 3 chicken zombies, right? No, I think I can only do 2. Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, these guys will work to give us disco and zombified, since those are a little bit easier to get, and then we can get ready to set up for our AFK grind and get all the AFK mutations done over some time. All right, our corrupted kitsune is going to give us the corrupt chakra mutation now, hopefully. Please don't fail us. Please don't fail us. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra. We are good. Corrupt kitsune is done and out of the way, so we can go ahead and get at least harmonized chakra. I would like to try and get ascended chakra at some point for that extra multiplier, but probably gonna take forever. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and move him out of the way. Our Peach Wasp is almost done to finally give us Plasma, and our Cockatrice should be giving us Toxic in a second here. With that extra pet slot, though, I am going to go ahead and spawn in another Chicken Zombie so we can work to get Zombified done. I'm going to go ahead and move this Corrupt Chakra Carrot over here to our platter yet again. And this will just be an easier way so we can go ahead and look through all these later and make sure that our Spinos eat everything and move it over to our Aetherfruit. I can pick up that static carrot there. We're going to go ahead and wait to try and get Toxic done and maybe Disco. And wait... Bro, why? I was trying to click view and his UI bugged inside of his other UI, and I just picked him up and now his timer reset. Bro, why? Dude, I hate some of the UI doing that. Is so annoying. All right, well, we gotta wait a couple extra minutes now for the Cockatrice, bro. I'm so sad now. So let's just wait for the magic to happen for a second so we can get Plasma done. All right, anyways, Peach Wasp is doing its thing. Hello. All right, cool. We got Plasma on another carrot. Thank you. Are you good down there, bro? Okay, he's just doing his thing, I guess. All right, I'm gonna move this over to our platter of carrots. Yeah, so I'll spawn another Disco Bee. I think we'll probably get Disco pretty quickly, but just in case, I'll get another one in there to start its cooldown so we can try to get that out of the way, and then we can just focus on Zombified and get this Toxic one done as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. My screen is shaking. There is an earthquake right now, so we have a chance to get the cracked mutation on something so we can get it on our Aetherfruit. As long as we get it on something, then we can move it over, but we'll see if we even get it. Also, can you turn, like, the camera shake off? They should probably add that as, like, a feature, because that be shaking a lot, dude. I get motion sick. All right, I'm gonna throw up on my screen, dude, with all that shaking. Also, how do the birthdays work? Because December 17th is not actually in 77 days, so it's definitely in-game days, but there's an in-game day like every 4 hours because you get nighttime, and then does a day go down every 4 hours? Is that how that works? I feel like that would make sense, but I don't know. I just work here, I guess. All right, anyways, our Cockatrice here is about to give us the Toxic mutation. He's gonna spit his nasty toxic fumes all over our plants. All right, he's spitting. We got toxic on some carrots, some sugar apples, so we're good. You're good. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Sorry for picking you up earlier, too early. Flay's about done with its cooldown here, so I gotta actually, you know what? I gotta give it another toy, but maybe Flay will come in clutch, give us disco, and then we can just move forward. And some of our disco bees are, or what am I saying, dude? Some of our chicken zombies are almost done. So Katie and Bella, we can maybe get zombified from. I'm gonna boost those guys as well. Some of our other guys are almost done as well. I think everyone can just use a toy, you know? Hopefully this will give me some of that nice, good old zombified mutations. We can get that done out of the way. Okay, let's see what we get here. One of our disco bees are about to do their thing. If we can get disco and zombified done, then we can get ready for that nice AFK setup. So guys, don't fail me. We got to move on. We got bigger things to do. Come on. Failed. Failed. All right, they're not helping. What about the disco bees? Disco bees? Failed. All right, well, that really didn't do anything for me, and we just got another chocolate carrot that I didn't need. So thank you guys for doing nothing but making me even more sad. All right, so we just got the disco mutation applied to a carrot, so disco is done. We can go ahead and get rid of our disco bees now because they smell bad. We don't need them right now. I guess we'll max out on chicken zombies for the rest of the chicken zombies that we have to fill in, so we can try and get zombified done a little bit faster. And with that, we still have 2 pet slots. I did put a gnome down so we can try to get gnome done a little bit faster. So I guess I'll go ahead and put down some of our other AFK pets to see if we get any of these mutations done while we're waiting for our chicken zombies to get zombified. All right, so we finally had one of our chicken zombies apply the zombified mutation just now to a sugar apple. There it is. We have zombified done, which means we can go ahead and pick up all of these chicken zombies now that we have. Now, we already spawned in our griffin to get cyclonic, junkbot for oil, and gnome for the gnome mutation. So now we're gonna go ahead and spawn in the rest of our pets that we need for our AFK grind. So we're gonna spawn in the lobster to get molten and meteoric. So with the lobster, I believe the molten will actually combine with flaming now to give you blazing. And then you can also, I think, combine flaming and meteoric to give you infernal or something like that. So this guy will be good for some more multiplier bonuses. Molten and meteoric are already very good, but they can also be mixed with other mutations now. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupt scarlet. We're going to spawn in the spriggan to get the blue mutation done, and we're going to spawn in the aromatic spaghetti slot that we have to get aromatic done, and also get his 3 mutations: pasta, meatballs, and sauce to get the spaghetti mutation. And there we go. Those are our 8 pets that we're going to use to AFK. Once one of these guys are done, we'll probably swap in first a new lobster, so we can have 2 lobsters going, since these guys take a while to get molten and meteoric done. And then we'll start swapping these out slowly one by one with Spinos, and then we'll get everything moved over to our AETHERFRUIT, and we'll have a really nice looking AETHERFRUIT with all those mutations on it. All right, so right before I actually went to go AFK, I noticed that my gnome applied the gnome mutation to the sugar apple, which means we have another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the gnome, and I actually am going to go ahead and spawn in a kappa with some carrots, and then we're going to try to get the bloodlet mutation done. So I'm going to go ahead and get that kappa in there. Let's get some carrots spawned in. We have some carrots over there for bloodlet, and I guess I can put a couple over here, so that way when it travels around, it has more of a chance to give us bloodlet. I'll probably put some more down once this restocks, and that way we can get bloodlet done. Okay, the junkbot just applied oil to a carrot somewhere over here, I believe, or maybe it was one of these. Here we go. The oil carrot is right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here to our collection, and we are good with the junkbot. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the junkbot up, actually, and I'm gonna spawn in another lobster to speed up getting molten and meteoric, and now we really do have the ultimate AFK setup. Okay, we just got bloom on a carrot, which I was literally just got done recording the oil bot, the junk bot giving us oil. So our spriggan is done. We have bloom done, so we can actually go ahead and pick him up. And I'm going to go ahead and move this verdant carrot over here to our collection. And I'm also going to move this bloom carrot over here to our collection. And I guess we can go ahead and spawn in another kappa for now to help us get the bloodlet mutation. And once we have bloodlet, then we will actually start spawning in the spinos. So just checking out some progress here. I noticed we actually did get a few bloodlet carrots done, which is perfect. So we can go ahead and add this over here to our buffet platter. There's also one over there, so that's good. We also have molten done on a carrot, so we can put that over here as well. And I did see we got aromatic somewhere. Here it is on this carrot, so that is another mutation done as well. And with that, we can go ahead and probably pick up the rest of these carrots, but we're good with these kappas, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick these kappas up and get them out of the way. And it looks like we just need to get meatball from our spaghetti sloth. Once we have meatball done, he'll be done, because we did get aromatic, and we do have a sauce over here, a couple sauces over here, and a pasta somewhere as well. And okay, so pretty good. We made some good progress here. We pretty much just need cyclonic still from the griffin. We do need meteoric still from these lobsters, tranquil, corrupt, and then also we just need meatball from our spaghetti sloth. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and start spawning in these mega Spinosauruses so they can start eating away at all these mutations and getting them moved over to our AETHERFRUIT. We'll wait for the rest of those mutations that we don't have yet to get applied, and then we can move it all over to this one AETHERFRUIT here and get the show on the road. All right, so I came back from being AFK. We still have a lot of work to do. A lot of these mutations still need to be moved over to our AETHERFRUIT here, but I was looking around at some of our carrots and stuff, and we did get corrupt done while I was AFK, which means we can go ahead and pick up our corrupt Scarlet right here. Now, one of our lobsters is about done, so I'm going to try to boost it to maybe, just maybe, get meteoric done. Where's Kiko? This one? Kiko, can we get some meteoric done, please? Okay, that was actually molten, and that failed anyways, but okay, it was worth a shot. But anyways, yeah, our corrupt Scarlet is done officially, so we can go ahead and actually get another Spino placed in here to help with moving everything over to our AETHERFRUIT. And when I was gone, we did get a moon or a nighttime event, so we did get moonlit, which it actually already got applied directly to the AETHERFRUIT here, so moonlit's done. All right, so doing another quick check here, our AETHERFRUIT here does officially have meatball on it, so meatball is done. So we can go ahead and keep that favorited, but since meatball is done, we have aromatic and all of the other spaghetti sloth mutations on these carrots. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this spaghetti sloth here. He is done with his job. Over here on one of these carrots, I noticed that we did finally get cyclonic done, so we can go ahead, or I guess cyclonic, brain fart, I guess. But anyways, Griffin is done here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our Griffin, and now we just need to get Meteoric still and Tranquil. I guess because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another Spinosaurus here to help move over the mutations to our AETHERFRUIT, and I will go ahead and spawn in our Ascended Mooncat, and let's actually see the cooldown on that. Okay, so we have 358 minutes of a cooldown to possibly get, which is about 6 hours, by the way, so I don't even know if we're gonna do this one because we might be done before then, but I will spawn it in just in case. But we have a 75% chance in 6 hours to get Dawnbound, but if we don't get that, then that's kind of a waste and will make me very sad. I should have spawned it in a little bit earlier, but I did have to focus on the Spinos and other mutations, but Dawnbound is really good to get. Maybe what I will do too is I will get a Dawnbound fruit, duplicate the mutation with the T-Rex, and that way we have a couple of Dawnbound mutations to use for our next fruits in the series. That way I can get it done and not have to wait that 6 hours. But just in case, I will spawn it in today in case the other mutations take forever anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and AFK the rest of this now, wait for everything to get moved over, and we'll be back once it's done. All right, so it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I went AFK last, and we did get all of the mutations moved over from our carrots, our sugar apples, so I did pick all of these up just to mark them down that we were done. And the other thing is, I will say now, the Ascended Mooncat that I have to get the Dawnbound mutation, I accidentally picked him up, but he still had about 3 hours on the cooldown. I don't know if a toy would have even boosted him enough to get to this, to get us the Dawnbound mutation, excuse me. But anyways, besides that, we have our raptors ready to try and get Amber, but before we pick this thing up, I'll go ahead and show you all the mutations we have on here. So as you can see, we have a pretty good list of mutations. The text is shrinking and looking really stretched out because we have so many. So counting these, we have 33 total mutations, and a lot of these did get combined. So if we actually go through these, we did get Cyclonic on this again, but we also have Storm Charge. Storm Charge is Maelstrom with Shocked and Static, and Maelstrom is Tempestuous and Cyclonic. So that is quite a few there. But let's go ahead and go through this real quick. So I said 33. So if we separate Spaghetti, we'd be up to about 35. Ceramic would bring us to about 37, I believe. Harmonized Chakra would bring us up to about 38. Gloom, 39. Paradisal, 40. Storm Charged, again, this one has a lot in it. So that would be like, I think 4 other mutations to separate this one. So what did we say? Bro, I just lost count. Hold on, I'm old, man. I'm on old brain. All right, so we're at about 40 with Storm Charge. This would bring us to about 44. And Infernal is actually Flaming and Molten mixed together to give us Blazing, and then Blazing mixed with Meteoric. So that's about 4 in itself as well. But since we already have this here, that's about like 3. So I think that's what, 47 mutations. And with Frozen, that'd be about 48. So this would have about 48 mutations all spread out, which is a crazy amount of mutations. The most that we've gotten so far, mainly because we do have some new pets here. We have the new Luminous mutation. We have the new Phoenix to give us Flaming, and then that mixes and gives us Infernal. And then we actually were able to get Molten again. And we could probably have gotten Meteoric again and just stacked onto this. So that is actually a crazy amount of mutations, and we could just keep keep getting more and more now that some of these combined, you can get them all over again. So we're going to see if we get another mutation, though, by picking this up and seeing if we can get the amber mutation. So I'm going to go ahead and boost all of our raptors here to hopefully give us the amber mutation. Oh, I ran out of toys. Okay, well, that's fine. Most of these are boosted. All right, so without further ado, we are going to go ahead and pick up this Aetherfruit. I wish we got acidic, and I wish we could have gotten like celestial. We could get celestial right now, but kind of doubt it. Usually we don't get celestial events. They're really rare. And then we could have also got like aurora, and then we could have got the new cracked mutation. But we did have some of those events. We just never got them. So I don't know. We just suck, I guess. But let's go ahead and pick up our Aetherfruit and let's see if we get amber applied. Okay, I actually thought that was amber for a second, but it was just this telling me that I did really good things in life, but that wasn't amber. But anyways, here is our beautiful Aetherfruit that you literally can't see because it is so shiny and bright and it burns your eyeballs. And yeah, there it is. Now you can see a little bit better. So let's go ahead and check the value of our Aetherfruit with Steven, and hopefully this was worth it with all these mutations. There's like what, like 48 technically. We could have got 49, but our raptors hate us. So Steven, how much is this Aetherfruit worth, man? How much would you say this thing is? And do you love us enough to give us past 1 trillion? Without further ado, let's check. Whew. Okay, so this thing is 536 billion with that many mutations on it. I think this definitely would have passed 1 trillion if we had a bigger Aetherfruit. But man, that is still pretty good. However, with that many mutations, I thought this would definitely be over 1 trillion. That's crazy. But I guess we should have waited and tried to get a little bit of a bigger one. But not bad, though. Not bad at all for that many mutations. And this being a fairly new fruit in the game, it's not even like the best thing you can get in the latest seed pack. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comments below. Is this worth it to you? Drop a like on the video, subscribe, and let me know what fruit you want to see next in the comments.